I got a really great question the other day on one of my comment threads where someone asked, how long is your pompadour actually? And it's a great question because with this type of hairstyle, particularly when it's all slicked up and everything, sometimes it's difficult to tell how long it is. I've had my pompadours, like this one right now that I have, is actually really short. Also had them really long, and when they're combed in place, if they're cut well, they look almost the same. So it's a great question, and I wanted to address it for the person who asked and just kind of show you how long my hair is. So we'll start with the top. I don't know if you guys can see, it's not long. It's probably only about 3 or 4 inches on top. That's pretty short for a pompadour haircut. But it's cut in such a way that it has layers so that I get some volume up there without having to put a bunch of heavy grease in it. The longer your hair is, the heavier the pomade you're going to need to use, unless you just want to use have a really greasy look. So the sides are even shorter. If you look, especially in the front, it's maybe 1 inch long, going to about 2 inches on the sides. Very short. This is about as short as you can go on the sides and still have this laid down when you put grease in it and comb it back. By the way, for those wondering what I have in my hair right now, it actually looks really nice right now. Believe it or not, I'm getting down to the dregs of this bottle of Jerry's hair tonic with oil. I'm going to be doing some videos in the near future about hair tonics because they're a key ingredient in my cycle of pomades and my regimen for using them. Sooner or later you get to a point in your cycle of using different strengths and thicknesses of pomade where you need to use some hair tonic. So we'll talk about that, but that's for another video. Let me show you guys the back, because my barber does kind of a clipper cut in back. It's pretty short. I try to get him to give me a defined hairline as opposed to a lot of the new cuts have like a short, sharp taper at the bottom, which doesn't look good with my hair for some reason. So I like the more traditional defined hairline and a gradual taper. Still working on that with him. We're still perfecting it, but as you can see, pretty short. Now, I'm going to try and let my hair grow as long as I can before it just gets unmanageable, and I'll try and shoot another video down the road and let you guys know how long it can get and still work, still look good. So I'll be monitoring that and try to kind of loop back and let you guys see what it looks like when it's longer. So my hair is not quite as thick or as dense as it was, say, 15 years ago. So I don't get the crazy thick, crazy high pompadours that I used to get, which is probably just as well. They can look a little cartoonish. They have their place in the genre, I suppose. But if you're going for an authentic 50s look, even back then, they didn't do that. You look at Elvis. Who had the best hair in the 50s? Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Eddie Cochran, maybe Jerry Lee Lewis. They had varying degrees of length and pomade that they would use, but they did not have these crazy psychobilly pompadours, or even worse, the outrageously huge Japanese pompadours that you see on some of the Japanese rockabilly guys. So I'm not really feeling like I'm missing anything there. Anyway, let me know if this answered you guys' questions, for those of you that have wondered about how long my hair is. I will say a critical factor, whether you wear your hair on the shorter side or the longer side, a critical factor for a good pompadour haircut, a good greaser haircut, is the cut. You have to have a barber who understands how to cut hair for this style, and not everybody does, especially today. It's kind of a niche thing, but also you have to take the time to learn, almost to kind of map your own head and learn how your hair performs, how long it can get before it gets a major wave in it that throws a monkey wrench in your styling plans, how long you need to have it in different areas because of colics or other features that can work against your style. It's a painful process. So, for example, I have 2 colics in the back, and I have to be careful because if I have my hair cut too short overall, just kind of a textbook short pompadour, sometimes I have like a part almost in the back, or like a line or a thin area where the colic is. So I try to keep my back actually a little bit longer so I have something to kind of comb back and blend that through to the back, blend the top through to the back. And I've never been able to part my hair is another thing. I've tried parting it when I was real young. I parted it on the left. When I was older, I parted it on the right. It sort of tries to part on the right, but it's real high. I don't even try to do it anymore. You can train your hair for some of these things, but you have to learn also what works with your head and your hair. And it takes time. So play around with it, experiment. Part of the fun of getting into this hairstyle is figuring that stuff out. And then when you finally, after everything, get to the point where you understand how your hair works, it's very gratifying to just be able to throw some junk in it, comb it up, and go. Thank you for checking in. More videos to come. I'm actually reshooting probably 3 videos today because I'm noticing some really bad presentation and sometimes production habits that I'm getting sick of. And I'm sorry for putting you guys through them, but I'm going to be improving that. You've probably noticed 1 or 2 already in this video, hopefully. Thanks for checking in, guys. Stay greasy. God bless.